Have you ever found yourself wondering if a woman is truly interested in you? Or perhaps you've noticed her acting a little different, but you can't quite tell if those subtle cues are a sign of something more. Well, you're not alone. Decoding attraction can be tricky, especially when the signals are unspoken and often masked behind everyday interactions. In today's video, we're going to dive into 9 explicit signs that a woman wants to sleep with you, and you might just be surprised by how subtle or obvious these signs can be. But here's the twist. We're not just going to look at these signals through the lens of attraction. We'll also bring in a unique Stoic perspective to help you understand how to process these cues with the emotional maturity and self-control that Stoicism champions. We'll break down everything from body language and conversation to the hidden cues that women often give off when they're attracted to you on a deeper level. And here's the best part. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding human behavior from a place of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and respect, as taught by the ancient Stoics. So, whether you're navigating a romantic situation, a casual flirtation, or simply want to become more aware of the unspoken dynamics around you, this video will give you the tools to approach any situation like a high-value man, calm, composed, and emotionally intelligent. Let's uncover the 9 signs and apply Stoic wisdom to interpret them in a way that benefits you and those you interact with. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the signs of attraction, but also how to respond to them with the ultimate emotional control without losing your sense of self. So stay tuned and let's dive right in. This introduction sets a solid foundation for the video by drawing in the audience with both curiosity and the promise of valuable insights, mixing the practical with the philosophical. It also builds anticipation while emphasizing the Stoic principles that will guide the rest of the content. Number 1. She finds excuses to be close. One of the most unmistakable signs that a woman may want to get closer to you, both emotionally and physically, is when she consistently finds excuses to be near you. This is often one of the most subtle yet powerful signals of attraction. One that may not immediately scream, "I'm interested in you," but speaks volumes when you understand the underlying psychology behind it. In this section, we're going to explore why a woman does this, what it means from a behavioral perspective, and how you can interpret it through a Stoic lens. First, let's break down the behavior itself. If a woman is regularly positioning herself in your personal space, whether it's sitting next to you during a meeting, standing closer than necessary when in a group, or casually leaning in when you're speaking, there is a strong possibility she's showing interest in you. These actions might seem innocent, even unintentional at first glance, but when you pay attention to the context and frequency, they can tell a different story. A woman who's interested in you will often seek out moments where she can be near you without appearing overtly obvious. It might even look like she's just trying to find a spot to stand or sit in a crowded room, but if you notice she's always finding a reason to be close, this is a definite signal. Why does she do this? On a psychological level, proximity is one of the most effective ways to establish a deeper connection. Humans are naturally drawn to those they are attracted to, and physical closeness is one of the first steps in initiating this unspoken bond. Our subconscious minds are constantly scanning our surroundings, and when we are around someone we are drawn to, we instinctively want to close the distance. It's a physical manifestation of attraction, our bodies responding to the chemistry that exists between us and another person. For women, being near someone they are attracted to provides both emotional comfort and a sense of connection. Even if she doesn't outwardly express her feelings, her body language will betray her true intentions. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior offers us a valuable lesson in understanding the subtleties of human interactions. The Stoics valued self-control and awareness above all else. They knew that emotions could be powerful, but also volatile. One of the greatest teachings of Stoicism is to be mindful of what is within our control and to observe external cues with a calm, rational mindset. When you notice a woman consistently finding ways to be close to you, it's important to stay composed and not jump to conclusions or act impulsively. Instead, use this as an opportunity to practice emotional intelligence. Is her behavior an invitation, a sign of genuine interest, or is it a friendly gesture that's not connected to anything romantic? A key element of Stoicism is the concept of indifference to externals. That is, recognizing that while you can observe the actions of others, their behavior is outside of your direct control. You cannot force someone to like you or respond to you in a specific way. Therefore, when a woman finds excuses to be near you, it's essential to respond with measured calmness rather than diving into the rush of emotions or expectations. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this case, you have control over how you interpret and respond to her actions, but not over her intentions. To put it simply, proximity is not a guarantee of romantic intent. While her attempts to get closer could indeed signal deeper interest, it could also simply be an act of comfort, familiarity, or even a friendly gesture. Recognizing this distinction is where the Stoic approach proves invaluable. Rather than getting lost in what these signs might mean, you stay grounded, observe without judgment, and avoid creating stories or expectations that might cloud your judgment. This is about observing the situation objectively and responding based on facts rather than assumptions. Another important point to consider is the concept of patience in Stoicism. A woman who is finding excuses to be near you is not demanding immediate action or attention from you. She is subtly indicating her interest, and it is your role to interpret that with clarity, not desperation. You don't need to rush into any conclusions or make hasty decisions about where this connection might go. By being patient and allowing things to unfold naturally, you create space for genuine connection without the pressure of forcing outcomes. The Stoics believed in understanding the nature of things and acting in harmony with that understanding. If a woman's desire for closeness is genuine, it will naturally unfold over time, and your calm and composed demeanor will only increase your attractiveness. Number 2. Her eyes give away her intentions. The eyes have long been said to be the windows to the soul, and when it comes to attraction, this couldn't be more true. A woman's eyes can reveal a wealth of emotions, intentions, and desires, often before she even speaks a word. One of the most powerful signals that a woman is interested in you, perhaps on a deeper, more intimate level, can be found in the way she looks at you. Her eye contact, the way her pupils dilate, and the subtle changes in her gaze are all clues that can reveal a lot about her feelings. In this section, we will dive into how a woman's eyes can give away her intentions and how you can interpret these signals through both a psychological lens and Stoic wisdom. First, let's talk about eye contact. When a woman is attracted to you, she will often engage in prolonged eye contact. It might not be a mere glance or a fleeting look. It will be a gaze that lingers just a bit longer than normal, one that seems to hold your attention in a way that feels intimate. This is a natural reaction to attraction. When we are drawn to someone, we subconsciously hold eye contact to establish a deeper connection. Prolonged eye contact releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone, and oxytocin, the bonding hormone. These chemicals make us feel good in the presence of someone we're attracted to, and our bodies respond by naturally wanting to prolong the interaction. If you notice that a woman looks at you repeatedly or holds her gaze when speaking to you, it's a sign that she's likely interested. The eyes are often the first place where emotional vulnerability shows itself, and a woman will use her eyes to gauge your reaction and see if you reciprocate her feelings. However, it's important to note that eye contact isn't just about how long it lasts. It's also about the intensity and quality of the look. A fleeting glance may be casual, but a soft yet intense gaze is a more direct sign of emotional investment. She may lock eyes with you during a conversation and then look away, only to glance back again. This back and forth gives you a glimpse into her inner world, showing that she's paying attention to you on a deeper level than just casual conversation. Another key indicator is pupil dilation. This is a subtle, yet scientifically significant sign of attraction. When we are sexually or romantically drawn to someone, our pupils naturally dilate. This happens because our bodies are releasing adrenaline and other hormones that trigger the fight or flight response. Our pupils expand when we experience heightened emotions, and in the context of attraction, this can happen when a woman looks at you and feels drawn to you. While this might be harder to notice unless you're paying close attention, it's one of the most instinctive reactions that our bodies have when we're in the presence of someone we find attractive. A woman may not even realize that her pupils are dilating, but it's a sign that her body is reacting to your presence in a way that goes beyond simple conversation. From a Stoic perspective, interpreting these signs through the lens of emotional regulation and awareness is critical. The Stoics taught that emotions, while powerful, must be managed and understood, not allowed to take over. When you notice a woman's gaze lingering on you or her pupils dilating, it's important not to jump to conclusions or become overly excited. The Stoic approach is to observe without emotional attachment, acknowledging the signs without reacting impulsively. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play. You have the ability to notice her intentions, but you should remain composed and not let your excitement cloud your judgment. Stoicism teaches us to avoid being swept away by external events or emotions. While the sign of dilated pupils and sustained eye contact may indicate that she's attracted to you, the Stoic would advise that you remain calm and mindful of your own response. The goal is not to get overly invested or emotional based on what you perceive, but rather to maintain your sense of inner peace and control. Recognizing these signs is about being aware of the world around you, but your reaction should always be measured and thoughtful. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Another way to interpret her gaze is by observing how she looks at you when you're not speaking. When a woman is interested in you, she will often look at you when you're not paying attention, simply to admire you or to gauge your behavior. This kind of silent eye contact can indicate that she's drawn to your presence and is trying to assess whether you notice her or if you're aware of the attraction. In these moments, you might catch her glancing at you quickly and then looking away, perhaps shyly or with a soft smile. This type of interaction reveals a subtle desire for connection without the need for overt communication. However, it's also essential to be aware of the balance in your own behavior. Stoicism encourages us to observe without becoming fixated or obsessing over the signals we receive. Just as you can notice the intensity of her gaze or the dilation of her pupils, you should also remain grounded in your understanding that this moment doesn't define the entirety of your relationship. Attraction is just one aspect, and your ability to respond with calm awareness is the key to maintaining your own sense of integrity and control. In conclusion, a woman's eyes can be incredibly revealing when it comes to showing her intentions. Prolonged eye contact, dilated pupils, and the intensity of her gaze are all signs that she may be attracted to you. However, through the Stoic lens, it is important to maintain emotional control, and not rush into conclusions based on what you see. By observing her actions with clarity and responding with composure, you will not only understand her intentions more clearly, but will also exhibit the emotional maturity that Stoicism encourages, creating an aura of confidence and attraction that is far more powerful than mere physical signs. Number 3, she compliments you in a more personal way. When a woman begins to compliment you in ways that feel more personal or intimate, it's often an unmistakable sign that she's interested in you on a deeper level. Compliments are a common way for people to express admiration or appreciation, but when the compliments go beyond superficial aspects and start to touch on your character, personality, or unique qualities, it becomes a clear indication that she sees something special in you. In this section, we'll explore why and how women offer personal compliments, what they truly signify, and how you can interpret these gestures through both psychological insights and Stoic wisdom. At first glance, compliments might seem like simple, everyday exchanges. However, when a woman goes out of her way to compliment your intelligence, your kindness, or even your sense of humor, it reveals more than just surface-level attraction. It suggests a deeper appreciation for who you are as a person. For example, if she admires your sense of humor, she's not only acknowledging a trait she finds endearing, but she's also showing an emotional connection. Humor can be a powerful tool for emotional bonding, and by complimenting this, she may be signaling that she enjoys your company and wants to engage with you on a more personal, emotional level. Similarly, when a woman compliments your kindness, your ambition, or your ability to stay calm under pressure, she's recognizing qualities that go beyond mere physical attraction. These types of compliments are deeply personal because they reflect an understanding of your inner values and personality. It's one thing for a woman to compliment you on how good-looking you are or how well-dressed you are, but when she highlights your strength of character or your authenticity, she's acknowledging the things that make you who you are at your core. This shows that she sees value in you as a person, not just as a physical object of desire. From a psychological standpoint, women often use compliments as a way to subtly express admiration and affection without being overly direct. Complimenting someone's personality or inner qualities is a form of positive reinforcement. When a woman tells you that she admires your patience, your resilience, or your leadership skills, she's not just flattering you, she's indicating that she sees something in you that aligns with her values or that she finds genuinely appealing. This could be an early step in trying to establish a deeper emotional connection. Compliments like these are designed to make you feel seen and valued, but they also provide her with the opportunity to gauge your reaction. The way you respond to these compliments also plays a crucial role in determining how the dynamic between you two unfolds. If you're humble and composed, acknowledging the compliment with grace, it will signal to her that you are secure in your identity and not overly boastful. This behavior in itself can be attractive. On the other hand, if you deflect the compliment or react nervously, it may create an emotional distance. Being able to accept compliments with calmness and humility aligns with the Stoic principle of indifference to praise. According to Stoic philosophy, external events, such as receiving compliments, should not be the basis of your happiness or self-worth. Instead, true contentment comes from being grounded in your own character and values. A woman may also compliment you in a more personal way as a way to express her desire for deeper emotional connection. By highlighting the qualities that make you unique, she's signaling her interest in getting to know you beyond the surface. Compliments focused on your character or your emotional intelligence are often a precursor to more meaningful conversations where she can learn more about your thoughts, experiences, and worldview. When a woman gives you these personal compliments, she's essentially offering a subtle invitation for deeper intimacy. From the Stoic perspective, it's important to understand that receiving compliments, especially personal ones, is an opportunity for self-reflection and self-awareness. A Stoic would approach these compliments with gratitude, but without letting them sway their emotional state. Marcus Aurelius, in his writings, often stressed the importance of staying true to one's values and not becoming distracted by the opinions of others. So when a woman compliments you on your character, the Stoic would advise that you accept it with poise and use it as an opportunity to further cultivate those virtues. Rather than seeking validation from external praise, you should recognize the compliment as a reflection of your inner strength and values. Furthermore, personal compliments can also be a form of emotional investment. When a woman compliments you in this way, it often means she's paying attention to how you behave, how you carry yourself, and how you respond to challenges. She's not just admiring your looks, but she's taking notice of the things that matter in the long run, traits like loyalty, integrity, and wisdom. These compliments demonstrate that she values your character and, by extension, your potential as a partner, friend, or confidant. It's a way of saying, "I see you for who you truly are." However, it's essential not to jump to conclusions about her intentions based solely on compliments. Compliments can be given for various reasons, including genuine admiration, kindness, or even as a way to build rapport. In the Stoic tradition, it's vital to remain objective and avoid forming attachments to external events or words, even if they feel flattering. Compliments can be appreciated, but they should not become the basis of your self-worth or identity. Instead, they should serve as reminders to stay true to your values and remain grounded in your own character. Number 4, she initiates touch. Physical touch is one of the most powerful ways we communicate non-verbally, and it plays a significant role in building connections between people. In the context of romantic or intimate interest, touch is often an important signal of attraction and desire. When a woman initiates physical contact with you, especially in subtle or seemingly casual ways, it can be an unmistakable sign that she is interested in you on a deeper, more personal level. In this section, we'll explore why a woman might initiate touch, how to interpret these gestures, and how Stoic wisdom can help guide your understanding and response to these actions. At its core, physical touch is a way of establishing closeness and intimacy. Humans are social creatures, and touch is one of the most fundamental ways we connect with each other. In the early stages of attraction, touch can serve as a powerful non-verbal cue to show interest and affection. If a woman touches you, whether it's a light touch on your arm, a playful push, or a hand placed on your shoulder, she's signaling that she feels comfortable with you and may want to take the connection to a more intimate level. The act of initiating touch shows vulnerability, as it requires a level of trust and comfort with the other person. By touching you, she is expressing that she's willing to lower physical boundaries, indicating a desire for closeness. For example, if a woman casually touches your arm while laughing at something you've said, or places her hand on your shoulder during a conversation, it may be a subtle signal that she feels a strong connection. These types of touches are often innocuous at first glance, but they are intentional in the context of attraction. Touching someone during moments of humor or warmth shows that she enjoys your company and feels comfortable in your presence. Over time, these small touches can accumulate and deepen, signaling that her interest is growing beyond friendship or casual acquaintance. The key to interpreting touch is understanding the context and frequency. One isolated touch might be a friendly gesture, but if the physical contact becomes more frequent or intentional, it's a strong sign of interest. If a woman repeatedly touches you while talking, for example, it may indicate that she's drawn to you and wants to establish a deeper connection. Another sign of interest is if she touches you in ways that feel more personal or intimate, such as brushing your hand or lingering in a hug just a bit longer than usual. These types of touches often indicate that her feelings are more than just platonic, and she may be testing the waters to see if you reciprocate her interest. From a psychological standpoint, touch is often linked to the release of oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding and affection. When we engage in physical contact with someone we're attracted to, our bodies naturally produce oxytocin, which makes us feel good and increases our emotional connection to the other person. For women, initiating touch can be a way of consciously or subconsciously signaling her desire to bond with you. If she's touching you frequently, it could indicate that she's trying to create a sense of closeness and trust. Touch can also be a way for her to gauge your comfort level and see how you respond to physical intimacy. If you welcome her touch and reciprocate, it could lead to deeper emotional and physical connections. However, not all touch is romantic or intimate in nature, and it's important to interpret these signals with emotional awareness. In some cases, a woman might initiate touch out of friendship, comfort, or a desire to express empathy or support. For example, if she places a hand on your back or gives you a hug during a difficult moment, it could be an expression of care rather than romantic interest. In these situations, it's crucial to remain open and understanding of her intentions while also being aware of your own boundaries. The key is to gauge the context, the frequency of the touch, and her overall behavior to better understand her intentions. From the perspective of Stoic philosophy, it's important to remain composed and balanced when interpreting physical touch. The Stoics believed in the importance of emotional detachment from external events and stimuli, including physical contact. While touch can be a powerful indicator of attraction, the Stoic approach would advise that you don't become overly attached or invested in the touch itself. Instead, observe the action with clarity and avoid letting it dictate your emotions or sense of self-worth. When a woman initiates touch, it's natural to feel excited or flattered, but it's also important to maintain your inner peace and objectivity. The Stoic way is to avoid becoming overly attached to external signs of affection, recognizing that your sense of self-worth should not be dependent on someone else's behavior. Instead, focus on maintaining your own integrity, emotional control, and sense of purpose, regardless of the physical signals you receive. By doing so, you'll be able to interpret touch as a sign of interest without letting it overwhelm your emotions or cloud your judgment. Another key Stoic principle that applies here is the idea of moderation. If a woman's touch becomes more frequent or more intimate, it's essential to respond in a way that respects both her feelings and your own boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to avoid excess and to maintain balance in all areas of life. Responding to touch with moderation means recognizing the importance of physical intimacy, but not rushing into it or allowing it to define the relationship. It's about finding a balance between emotional awareness, respect, and maintaining personal boundaries. In conclusion, when a woman initiates touch, it's often a clear sign that she's interested in you beyond a casual relationship. Physical contact is a powerful form of communication that can convey affection, desire, and intimacy. By paying attention to the frequency and context of the touch, you can gain insight into her feelings and intentions. However, it's important to approach these signals with emotional awareness and Stoic wisdom, recognizing that while touch can be an indicator of attraction, it should not define your sense of self-worth or emotional stability. By maintaining a balanced and composed perspective, you can better navigate the complexities of physical touch and build a deeper, more meaningful connection. Number 5. She mirrors your movements. One of the most fascinating and subtle signs that a woman may be attracted to you or interested in developing a deeper connection is when she mirrors your movements. Mirroring is a psychological phenomenon where one person unconsciously imitates the posture, gestures, or behavior of the other person. It's a natural part of human interaction and often occurs when there's a sense of mutual attraction or emotional rapport. When a woman mirrors your movements, it's an indication that she is emotionally attuned to you, and it can be a clear sign of both affection and interest. In this section, we will explore why and how mirroring happens, what it signifies, and how Stoic wisdom can guide your understanding of these subtle gestures. At its core, mirroring is a non-verbal form of communication that conveys connection and harmony. It happens naturally when two people feel comfortable and in sync with each other, and it often occurs when there is a mutual attraction. If a woman begins to mirror your movements, whether it's adopting a similar posture, matching your speech patterns, or copying the way you move, she is signaling that she feels a bond with you. These mirrored behaviors reflect an underlying connection that transcends words and shows that she is emotionally engaged in the interaction. For instance, if you lean forward slightly during a conversation and she does the same, or if you cross your arms and she mirrors that gesture, it indicates that she is attuned to your physical presence and responding to your energy. It's an unconscious signal that she is interested in building rapport with you, and it often means that she feels comfortable around you. The more she mirrors you, the stronger the connection, as it reflects her desire to synchronize with you, both emotionally and physically. From a psychological perspective, mirroring is a well-known behavior that psychologists have studied extensively, especially in the context of attraction. When two people are attracted to one another, their bodies tend to synchronize in subtle ways. This phenomenon is rooted in the idea of empathy. When we feel connected to someone, we begin to reflect their behavior as a way of signaling trust and rapport. It's a natural way for humans to bond and form emotional connections. In the case of a woman mirroring your movements, she may be unconsciously signaling that she feels an emotional connection to you and is open to furthering the relationship. It's a sign that she's comfortable with you and that she is subconsciously trying to communicate that she feels good around you. Moreover, mirroring can also serve as a tool to build rapport. In the early stages of a relationship, both parties are often assessing each other's personalities, values, and intentions. By mirroring your movements, a woman might be attempting to create a sense of similarity between you both, thereby fostering trust and emotional closeness. It's a subconscious way of saying, "I'm like you, I understand you." When this happens, it can be a powerful sign that she is emotionally invested in the connection and may be interested in taking the relationship to a more intimate level. Mirroring is not always limited to physical gestures. It can also include speech patterns and tone of voice. If a woman starts adopting the same rhythm in her speech as you, using similar phrases or matching your tone, it's another indication that she is attuned to you and seeks to create a deeper connection. This type of nonverbal communication is often very subtle, and it's easy to overlook if you're not paying attention. However, if you start noticing these patterns, it can be a clear indication that she is invested in the interaction and is trying to build a connection with you. From the Stoic perspective, it's important to understand that mirroring, while a clear sign of connection, should not lead to an overreaction or attachment. Stoicism teaches that external events, such as another person's behavior, should not be the source of our happiness or emotional stability. While it's tempting to become excited when a woman mirrors your movements, it's crucial to maintain your inner composure and clarity of mind. The Stoic approach encourages emotional detachment from external stimuli. meaning that you should not allow the act of mirroring to make you feel overly validated or attached to her behavior. A Stoic response would be to observe the behavior with calmness, recognizing that mirroring is simply a natural part of human interaction. You can appreciate it as a positive sign of connection, but you should avoid attaching your sense of self-worth to it. By practicing equanimity, you can acknowledge the mirroring without letting it dictate your emotional state or expectations. The key is to stay grounded in your own values and not let the ebb and flow of external gestures, such as mirroring, influence your internal peace. In addition, moderation is a central concept in Stoic philosophy. When a woman mirrors your movements, it's important to recognize the significance of this behavior, but not to overemphasize it. If you become overly fixated on her gestures, it could lead to attachment, expectation, or even anxiety about her intentions. Stoicism encourages us to maintain balance in all aspects of life, and this applies to interpreting nonverbal cues as well. Acknowledging the connection that mirroring signifies is fine, but it's essential not to get carried away by the idea that it guarantees anything further. By staying calm and centered, you can enjoy the interaction without becoming overly attached to any particular outcome. Another Stoic principle that aligns with the idea of mirroring is self-control. While it's natural to feel flattered or excited when someone mirrors your behavior, it's important to remain in control of your reactions. By practicing self-discipline, you can appreciate her gestures without letting them dictate your emotions or actions. Instead of becoming overly eager or making assumptions about her intentions, take a measured approach. This will help you stay emotionally composed and avoid misinterpreting the signals. In conclusion, when a woman mirrors your movements, it's a strong indicator that she feels a sense of connection and comfort with you. Mirroring is a natural, unconscious behavior that reflects emotional rapport, attraction, and mutual understanding. From a psychological perspective, it's a sign that she is emotionally engaged in the interaction and may be interested in developing a deeper connection. However, from a Stoic standpoint, it's important to approach this behavior with composure and balance, recognizing it as a sign of connection without allowing it to disrupt your emotional equilibrium. By practicing mindfulness and emotional control, you can interpret the act of mirroring with clarity and use it as an opportunity to build a deeper and more meaningful relationship. Number 6, she actively engages in conversation. One of the most telling signs of romantic or emotional interest is when a woman actively engages in conversation with you. While communication is vital in any relationship, when a woman is genuinely interested in you, her approach to conversation will be noticeably different from casual exchanges. She will invest time, energy, and attention into the conversation, signaling her desire to connect on a deeper level. Active engagement in conversation goes beyond simply answering questions or making small talk. It's a sign that she values your interaction and wants to know more about you, both intellectually and emotionally. In this section, we will explore the significance of active engagement, why it indicates attraction, and how you can use Stoic principles to understand and respond to this behavior. At its core, active engagement in conversation involves more than just the exchange of words. It's about showing a genuine interest in what the other person has to say and demonstrating that you are fully present in the moment. When a woman engages with you in this way, it can manifest in various ways: asking thoughtful questions, sharing personal experiences, or contributing meaningful insights to the discussion. She will likely show enthusiasm, curiosity, and empathy, making the conversation feel more dynamic and two-sided. If she's emotionally invested, she won't just offer surface-level responses, but will delve deeper, seeking to understand your thoughts, feelings, and values. For example, if you're talking about a personal topic and she actively listens, asks follow-up questions, and relates your experiences to her own, it's clear that she is engaged in the conversation. This behavior indicates that she is interested in what you have to say and wants to learn more about you on a deeper level. Additionally, if she remembers details from past conversations and brings them up in future discussions, it's a sign that she is paying attention and values your connection. This level of attentiveness shows that she's emotionally and mentally present during your interactions, which is a strong indicator of romantic or emotional interest. In many cases, when a woman is interested in a man, she will seek out topics of conversation that allow her to get to know him better. She may ask questions that go beyond the superficial and dive into areas such as your goals, values, and life experiences. She will want to understand your perspectives and your worldview, signaling a deeper emotional investment. If a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she won't just be asking questions to pass the time. She'll be trying to gauge whether you share similar values, interests, and goals, which are important for building a lasting connection. Moreover, a woman who actively engages in conversation will often make an effort to share aspects of herself with you. She will open up about her own experiences, thoughts, and feelings, creating a reciprocal flow of communication. This openness creates a sense of vulnerability, which is an essential ingredient for emotional intimacy. If she is willing to be vulnerable with you, it's a clear sign that she trusts you and feels safe in your presence. Vulnerability is often a precursor to deeper emotional connection, and her willingness to share personal details about herself indicates that she may be interested in building a more intimate relationship. From a psychological perspective, active engagement in conversation is an important part of building rapport and intimacy. People tend to feel more connected to others when they share meaningful, two-way conversations. When a woman engages with you on a deeper level, she's likely seeking to establish emotional closeness. By asking questions, actively listening, and sharing her own experiences, she's signaling that she's invested in your relationship and wants to create a bond. This behavior is often a subconscious effort to create a sense of emotional alignment, which is a fundamental part of attraction. At the same time, active engagement is not just about the words spoken, it's also about non-verbal cues. A woman who is genuinely interested in the conversation will use body language to signal her attentiveness. This can include maintaining eye contact, leaning in slightly, nodding in agreement, and mirroring your facial expressions. These non-verbal signals indicate that she is emotionally connected to the conversation and is actively participating in the interaction. If she is physically engaged in the conversation, it shows that she's emotionally engaged as well, which is a strong sign of attraction. When it comes to the Stoic philosophy, it's important to recognize that while active engagement in conversation is a positive sign of attraction, it should not be the sole basis of your emotional fulfillment or expectations. Stoicism teaches us to remain composed and balanced, regardless of external signals or circumstances. While it's natural to feel flattered or excited when a woman engages with you on a deeper level, it's essential to maintain emotional clarity and avoid becoming attached to the outcome of the conversation. The Stoics believed that our emotions should not be governed by external events, and the same principle applies to social interactions. In this case, if you notice that a woman is actively engaging in conversation with you, it's important to enjoy the connection without becoming overly dependent on her attention for your emotional well-being. Rather than seeking validation from her responses or actions, the Stoic approach would encourage you to focus on maintaining your own inner peace and sense of self. A Stoic would appreciate the connection, but would avoid becoming overly attached to it. recognizing that their sense of worth is not dependent on the approval or attention of others. Moderation is another key Stoic principle that applies in this situation. While it's wonderful to engage in meaningful conversation and enjoy the emotional connection that comes with it, it's important not to let this become the sole focus of your relationship. Stoicism encourages us to avoid excessive attachment to any one aspect of life, whether it's work, relationships, or even social interactions. It's important to remain balanced and recognize that while deep conversations can bring you closer to someone, they should not become the primary source of your emotional fulfillment. In conclusion, when a woman actively engages in conversation, it's a clear sign that she is interested in you and values your connection. By asking thoughtful questions, sharing personal experiences, and showing genuine interest in your thoughts and feelings, she is signaling that she wants to build a deeper emotional connection. From a psychological perspective, this behavior indicates attraction, empathy, and a desire for emotional intimacy. However, from a Stoic standpoint, it's important to approach these interactions with clarity and balance. While you can appreciate and enjoy the connection, it's essential to maintain emotional composure and not become overly attached to the outcome. By practicing Stoic wisdom, you can navigate these interactions with calmness and appreciation, allowing the relationship to grow naturally without letting external events dictate your emotional state. Number 7. She makes subtle flirty remarks. When a woman is interested in you, one of the more obvious, yet often understated signs is when she makes subtle flirty remarks. These comments may seem playful, light-hearted, or even joking at first glance, but they carry a deeper meaning. She's signaling interest and attraction in a more indirect way. Understanding these subtle cues can give you valuable insight into her feelings and intentions. It's important to note that these remarks are rarely overt. Instead, they tend to be nuanced, designed to test the waters and gauge your reaction without being too forward. In this section, we will explore why women use these remarks, how to recognize them, and how to interpret them through the lens of Stoicism. Flirting is a natural part of human interaction, and for many women, making flirty remarks is a way of expressing their attraction while maintaining an air of playfulness and fun. These comments may range from light teasing to more direct compliments, but they always carry the underlying message of attraction. For instance, she might playfully comment on how well you look, make a cheeky comment about a shared experience, or even joke about the idea of spending more time together. Though the intent may not always be spelled out explicitly, the underlying message is clear. She's interested in you and is trying to create a connection. One of the key aspects of subtle flirting is its indirect nature. Unlike overt flirting, where the attraction is laid out plainly, subtle remarks allow her to gauge your interest without putting herself in a vulnerable position. For example, she may say something like, "I always love talking to you, you're so different from most people I know," or "You're really good at that. I might have to ask for your help again sometime." These comments are designed to make you feel special and subtly suggest the possibility of a deeper connection without making her seem too eager or forward. In some cases, the remarks may involve light teasing or playful banter, another common sign of flirtation. A woman might tease you about a harmless quirk or make a playful challenge to your abilities. This type of interaction is designed to create a fun, engaging atmosphere while allowing her to test how you respond to playful challenges. If she's genuinely attracted to you, she'll enjoy seeing how you handle the playful teasing and whether you can match her energy with wit and humor. This kind of light-hearted exchange often signals that she feels comfortable around you and wants to see if you share a similar sense of humor or if you can keep up with her banter. Subtle, flirty remarks may also take the form of compliments, but they are often more focused on personal traits or qualities rather than just physical appearance. For instance, she may say something like, "I love the way you think, it's refreshing," or "You're so good at handling tough situations, I'm impressed." These comments go beyond the surface level, signaling that she is attracted to your intellect, character, or confidence. Complimenting you on aspects of your personality or abilities suggests that she sees you as someone interesting and worthwhile beyond just your physical appearance, which is a stronger foundation for deeper attraction. Another key sign of subtle flirting is when a woman uses innuendo or slightly suggestive language, often veiled in humor or wit. These remarks aren't overtly sexual, but they hint at the possibility of a deeper connection. For example, she may make a comment about how she could totally see herself doing something with you, or how she finds something you said mysterious or intriguing. While the remarks may seem innocent at first, they reveal that she's considering the idea of a more intimate connection with you and is testing whether you'll pick up on these hints and respond in kind. The purpose of these subtle remarks is often to establish a rapport and build attraction gradually. By making these comments, a woman is trying to gauge your level of interest and see how you react. If you respond with humor, playfulness, or a similar flirtatious comment, it signals that you're open to her advances, which can help deepen the connection. However, if you respond awkwardly or with disinterest, she may pull back or adjust her approach to see if she can make a stronger impression. From a psychological perspective, flirtation, especially the subtle variety, is an effective way to establish a sense of closeness and connection without being too vulnerable or direct. For many women, flirtation allows them to express their interest in a way that feels safe and non-threatening. It creates a dynamic where both people can engage in playful and often humorous exchanges, which can strengthen their bond. Flirting can also serve as a way for women to test your interest and determine whether you share a mutual attraction. The key is that these remarks create a space for emotional intimacy to grow while allowing both parties to remain somewhat guarded. When interpreting subtle flirtation, it's important to stay attuned to the context and tone of the remarks. Are they being said with a playful smile, eye contact, or in a relaxed, comfortable setting? These non-verbal cues often accompany subtle flirtation, providing further insight into the woman's intentions. If the remarks are made in a setting where the two of you are alone or enjoying a private moment, the flirting may carry more weight. Conversely, if these comments are made in a group setting, they may be more light-hearted or designed to engage you without making it too obvious that she's interested. From a Stoic perspective, the key to responding to subtle flirting is to remain balanced and composed. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and not to be swayed by external circumstances or emotions. While it's natural to feel flattered by subtle flirtation, a Stoic would encourage you to appreciate the moment without allowing your emotions to overtake your judgment. You should recognize the flirtation as a sign of interest, but not attach too much significance to it, or let it dictate your actions or feelings. The Stoic approach would be to remain grounded in your response, avoiding overthinking or projecting too far into the future. Instead, focus on engaging in the moment with curiosity and appreciation, without becoming attached to the idea of where the conversation might go. By doing so, you allow the interaction to unfold naturally, without the pressure of expectation or anxiety about potential outcomes. This calm, collected approach can make you more attractive to her, as it demonstrates emotional stability and self-confidence, qualities that are universally appealing. In conclusion, when a woman makes subtle, flirty remarks, it's a clear sign that she's interested in you and is trying to establish a deeper connection. Whether through teasing, compliments, or suggestive comments, These remarks signal that she finds you attractive and wants to test the waters of mutual attraction. Recognizing these signals and responding with a playful, confident, and composed demeanor can enhance the connection. From a Stoic perspective, maintaining emotional clarity and not becoming overly attached to the interaction will allow you to navigate these moments with grace, ensuring that you can enjoy the connection without losing your sense of self. Number 8. She laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones. One of the most telling signs that a woman may be interested in you is when she laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones. Humor plays a significant role in human attraction, and when a woman laughs at something you say, especially if it's a joke that's not particularly funny or is a bit awkward, it's often a clear indication that she's trying to make you feel good about yourself, or even that she's genuinely interested in fostering a connection. Humor is a powerful tool that creates bonds, and when she laughs at your jokes, even the less impressive ones, it can indicate that she is emotionally engaged and interested in you, beyond just the surface level. In the world of dating and attraction, laughter is a universal language of connection. Laughter releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in our brain that are associated with pleasure, relaxation, and positive emotions. When a woman laughs at your jokes, it's not just about the humor itself, it's about creating a shared emotional experience. The act of laughing together establishes a sense of mutual enjoyment and comfort, which is one of the fundamental building blocks of attraction. Whether your joke was witty, cheesy, or downright cringeworthy, her laughter can signal that she appreciates your attempt to make her laugh and is interested in sharing those moments with you. Why would she laugh at a bad joke? First, it's important to understand the underlying psychological reason behind this behavior. Often, when a woman is attracted to you, she will want to make you feel confident and valued. Laughter can be a form of positive reinforcement. By laughing at your joke, even if it's not the funniest thing she's ever heard, she's acknowledging your effort and signaling that she finds you engaging. It's a way of showing her appreciation for your sense of humor, even if it falls a little short. In this case, her laughter is less about the actual joke and more about the connection she wants to foster with you. It's her way of encouraging you to continue engaging with her, knowing that humor can help create a sense of closeness. Furthermore, women often use humor as a way to bond. Laughter, in this context, is not just a response to something funny, it's also a way of signaling attraction and creating rapport. When a woman laughs at your jokes, it's her way of showing that she enjoys your company and that she's comfortable around you. If she consistently laughs, even at the jokes that might not be the most amusing, it can be an indication that she values the time spent with you and wants to encourage more interaction. Laughter is a form of emotional validation, which helps build intimacy and trust between two people. It allows her to express that she's enjoying your presence and is willing to invest time and energy into making the interaction more enjoyable. Her laughter can also indicate interest in you beyond just the joke. When a woman is attracted to you, she often feels more inclined to engage with you on multiple levels. This includes being receptive to your humor, even if it's not the most polished. When she laughs at a joke that isn't inherently funny, it's a way of showing that she's not just enjoying the joke, she's enjoying you. The focus shifts from the content of the joke to the positive feelings she has towards you as a person. It's about the connection and emotional chemistry you share, and her laughter reinforces that dynamic. Additionally, some women might even laugh at jokes they don't fully understand, or jokes that aren't traditionally funny, simply as a way to fit into the dynamic of the conversation. This is particularly true in early stages of attraction or dating, where she may be trying to impress you with her playful and fun-loving side. Even though her laughter in these instances may not be a direct response to the humor itself, It still communicates an openness and eagerness to be part of the exchange. Her laughter helps to create a comfortable, playful atmosphere, allowing both of you to relax and enjoy each other's company without the pressure of trying to be perfect. From a Stoic perspective, it's important not to overanalyze or overvalue her laughter. Stoicism teaches us to appreciate things as they come without becoming overly attached to or reliant on them for our emotional well-being. If a woman laughs at your jokes, it's important to take it in stride and appreciate the moment for what it is, a sign of connection and shared enjoyment. However, the Stoic would advise against reading too much into it, as this could lead to attachment or expectation that could cloud your judgment. Instead, approach it with a calm, composed attitude, enjoying the moment without attaching significance to the outcome. The laughter is a sign of interest, but it doesn't need to dictate how you perceive the entire interaction. Moreover, the Stoic would also caution against putting too much pressure on yourself to make her laugh or to be constantly witty. A key component of Stoicism is recognizing what is in our control and what is not. While humor can certainly play a role in attraction, it's important to recognize that your worth doesn't depend on your ability to entertain or make someone laugh. A Stoic would focus on the value of authenticity and emotional resilience, understanding that while humor can foster connection, the real foundation of any relationship lies in shared values, respect, and mutual understanding. Number 9. She makes an effort to look good around you. One of the most subtle yet powerful indicators that a woman may be interested in you romantically is when she makes an effort to look good around you. This effort is not necessarily about being overly glamorous or seeking constant attention, but rather about presenting herself in a way that shows she values the impression she makes on you. When a woman takes extra care in her appearance, pays attention to details, or makes sure she looks her best when she knows she'll be seeing you, it's often a reflection of her desire to leave a lasting impression. Her actions reveal a deeper level of emotional investment and interest, and understanding this sign can help you gauge her feelings toward you. Why does she care about how she looks around you? First, it's important to understand that attraction is multifaceted. People don't only connect on intellectual or emotional levels, they are also drawn to each other physically. For many women, physical appearance plays a significant role in the dating process, and they often want to look their best when they're in the presence of someone they find attractive. When a woman makes an effort to look good around you, it's a form of non-verbal communication that signals her romantic interest. She wants to be noticed by you, to stand out in your eyes, and to create an impression that sticks with you long after your interaction. Her effort to look good might be subtle, like choosing a flattering outfit or styling her hair in a way that she knows you'll find attractive, or it might be more overt, like wearing a scent that she knows you'll remember. This behavior often stems from the desire for validation. While some might argue that self-esteem and confidence should be the driving forces behind someone's appearance, it's undeniable that humans are social beings, and we often seek affirmation from others. When a woman makes the extra effort to look good in front of you, it can indicate that she's looking for your approval or appreciation. She may be consciously or unconsciously trying to show you that she takes pride in her appearance and wants to be seen in a positive light. For her, it's about creating a strong, favorable first impression or reinforcing an already established one. Moreover, effort in appearance reflects emotional investment. If a woman is consistently choosing outfits, hairstyles, or accessories that she believes will appeal to you, it suggests that she's thinking about how you perceive her. This is a clear sign that she values your opinion and wants to make sure that she stands out in your eyes. When a woman is interested in someone, she might naturally want to attract that person's attention in a way that goes beyond basic interaction. Making an effort to look good is an outward expression of that desire for connection and attraction. It shows that she's invested in how the relationship progresses and is actively seeking ways to build intimacy. It's important to note that the effort doesn't always have to be dramatic. A woman who is genuinely interested in you might not necessarily wear fancy clothes or overdo her makeup. Often, small, thoughtful gestures can speak volumes. She might wear a color that she knows you've complimented her on before, or she may choose to wear an outfit that shows off her figure without being too revealing. These seemingly small choices are part of the dance of attraction, where she is trying to communicate her interest through her appearance. It's not about being someone she's not. It's about highlighting the qualities she knows you appreciate and presenting her best self in your presence. This effort to look good also has deeper psychological underpinnings. Attraction often involves a sense of competition, not just with other people, but with one's own self-image. When a woman is interested in a man, she often wants to present herself as desirable, not just to him, but to herself as well. Looking good is a way for her to boost her own confidence and reinforce her self-esteem. The more she feels attractive and confident in her appearance, the more likely she is to put herself out there in ways that invite intimacy and connection. Her effort to look good is often as much for her as it is for you, signaling her own self-worth, while subtly inviting you to recognize and appreciate her. From a Stoic perspective, it's important to recognize the value of self-composure in the face of these subtle cues. A Stoic would understand that while attraction is a natural and human response, it is important not to become overly attached or reliant on external appearances. When a woman makes an effort to look good around you, a Stoic would appreciate the gesture as part of the human experience, but not let it cloud judgment or dictate emotional responses. While physical attraction is a part of human nature, Stoicism teaches us to remain grounded, recognizing that true connection goes beyond the superficial and is based on mutual respect, values, and understanding. Additionally, a Stoic would focus on the idea of non-attachment, enjoying the moment without holding on to expectations. If a woman is making an effort to look good around you, it's important to appreciate her effort without placing undue importance on it. While her efforts may indicate romantic interest, a Stoic would avoid getting too fixated on the potential outcome. Instead, he would enjoy the present interaction, remain composed, and allow the relationship to develop naturally, free from the weight of expectations. In conclusion, when a woman makes an effort to look good around you, it's often a clear sign of romantic interest and emotional investment. Whether through her clothing choices, grooming habits, or overall appearance, she is signaling that she values your opinion and wants to create a positive impression. This effort to look good is a non-verbal way of expressing attraction, and it's a powerful indicator that she is emotionally engaged and interested in fostering a deeper connection. Recognizing and appreciating this effort is an important part of understanding the subtle dynamics of attraction. At the same time, maintaining a Stoic mindset allows you to enjoy these moments without becoming overly attached or placing too much importance on any one aspect of the interaction. Ultimately, attraction is complex and multifaceted, and while appearance is just one layer, it is often a key indicator of deeper emotional and romantic interest.